Welcome to the Women Who Changed the World podcast, the place where everyday women world changers share their stories to inspire, challenge, and equip you to change your world.
Hi, this is Lori Miller. I'm coming to you today with excitement for our first ad, and here we are on Samantha's podcast. So thrilled. So to tell you a little bit about ourselves, we're a tea boutique company, mother and daughter, Victoria and myself, Lori. We're a team My Loyal Tea Company, might as well say that here. We have premium, organic, loose leaf tea. We want to get the toxins out of your bodies. We're very active on Instagram and Facebook at My Loyal Tea Company, LOYALTEA Company, all spelled out. And our website is myloyalteacompany.com. So come join the fun.
And here we have part 2 of this wonderful interview. It had so many amazing things that to cut any out would be sad. There will be a bit of overlay from the previous episode, but that's to keep the conversation having flow and continuity. And with that, we are back. So on my vision board, I have the pyramid you made for me and the handprint. And every day I look at it, it reminds me of these are the things that I have to. This is where I'm going. This is my setup. This is the plan. So what happens if I'm doing the work? I'm doing my advertising. I'm doing my thing. I'm talking to my people. And it's still not, I know it's not the system because I understand your system and I've seen it work. Get past it being there's something wrong with me. And I know we talked about this a little bit before. To, okay, what can I do? What can I do? How can I make this work? How do I get mindset of I'm a complete failure? God definitely made a mistake. He did not plan this well. To, okay, what can I do better? How do I get that shift?
I think number one is you have to recognize the difference between kingdom culture and world culture. World culture will tell you you're a failure. They will tell you if it didn't work the first time, you may as well give up. They will tell you somebody else is doing it better. Don't worry about it. Let them do their thing. They will tell you all of these lies, and none of that matches up to what we read in God's word in regards to kingdom culture. And God's truth is that if it's worth doing poorly until you can do it well. You don't become a concert pianist after 5 music lessons. It takes mastery. It takes practice. You've got to do it. You've got to fix the mistakes. You've got to do it again. And in business, it's no different. There really is no overnight success story in business. It's years of practicing and tweaking and trying new things. And the difference between the winners and losers, the only difference, they're all human, right? The only difference is that the winners decide that nothing was going to stop them. They decide they're not going to quit. I can remember crying to one of my coaches, like literally in tears, like arm around me. We were at an event and standing out in the lobby with all these hundreds of other people. And here I am with tears pouring down my face that this is not working. I'm desperate. I've got to do something. And he's like, so what are you going to do? Quit? And I was like, I can't quit. I don't have another choice, but it's that being convinced, right? You don't, the story of the miner that stopped a foot from gold, right? You never know what's around the corner. We don't have the mind of God. We can't see. And maybe this is just a process of faithfulness. I don't know, but it's also a process of mastery, because the more we do this, the more we evaluate and say, okay, what went well? What can I do differently? We try it again. We get better. Evaluate, tweak, try it again, you get better. Even the masters of business in today's world are continuing to evaluate and tweak and try it again. And if we quit on try number 3, we're never going to make it to the winner's circle.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And in the process of growing, I keep seeing, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That doesn't include my children, I hope.
I don't know. I kind of like my kids. They have some wisdom to share every now and then.
Yeah, but my 4-year-old likes to run around naked, so no. It depends on how old they are.
You have to pick and choose which wisdom you listen to, I guess.
Yeah. There is this thing of I want to be around better people. I want to be around better people. I want to be around better people. And you can get pushing going. And you need with the people that are where you are right now. How do you keep yourself from trying to rush past all the lessons to get to the end because you know the end's good? How do you get yourself to just sit in the lessons?
I'm not very good at sitting. I think that's where discernment comes in. I think you have to be willing to look for discernment. Is this a time to act, or is this a time to sit and wait? My friend Matt, me over at the Thriving Christian Artist podcast, always says, God directs your steps, not your standing still. And I think that you have to be willing to take action. Right. And so in terms of like, I want to be there. Yes, I want to be there. But I also recognize that there are lessons every step. There's lessons at every level. And so part of conquering that whole wanting to rush through things is being to be content with where I am right now. It has to do with my definition of success. Am I not successful until I reach a certain number of subscribers or a certain number of income or a certain number of sales in a launch? Or am I successful today because I did what God wanted me to do today? And if I'm successful today because today I'm hearing God's voice and doing what I know I need to do, then that helps me because I know that the next step will be made plain in time for that. And I can be content that I'm doing the next step when he asked me to, one step at a time. The event of the year for Christian business owners is just around the corner. Handprint Legacy Live 2021 is virtual this year, which makes it super easy to attend from anywhere in the world without makeup, long flights, or expensive hotel rooms. Thursday through Saturday, June 24 to 26, we'll spend 3 powerful days mapping out your first or next most important steps for your business. I'm Katie Horner. My husband and I have grown from full-time ministry in Mexico to full-time international business owners by understanding and solving the countless marketing challenges faced by Christian entrepreneurs. We created the Handprint Legacy Live event as a safe haven where small business owners, teachers, authors, and coaches strategize, implement, and grow their business. This event is highly interactive and tickets are limited. Grab yours today before we sell out, because 3 days of Bible-based fun and marketing instruction is going to leave you with your next marketing funnel all mapped out. Register now for the 2021 event at handprintlegacylive.com.
I hope everybody realizes these podcasts are as much for me. They're a learning experience for me as they are for listeners. There's a podcast I listen to called The School of Greatness, and Lewis Howes talks about how your podcast is as much for you as it is for your listeners. And that's really what I've made it out to be for myself. So these are questions that are as much for me as for anybody else. Handprint Legacy Live is not a free event. It's not your freebie, but it is a low-hanging fruit. And what I mean by low-hanging fruit is it's full, heavy. You don't have to climb the whole tree to get to it. It's down there ripe and ready for you. If people are thinking of like, oh yeah, I really don't have the money, but I do have the money to go buy a latte every day. Can you speak into that shifting as an entrepreneur of, I can avoid my latte for the month and then I can invest in myself. What is that they need to do to get to there?
We like to talk about cost versus investment, right? And so even in my coaching, I'm trying to get my business owners to think through the idea of presenting the things that they're inviting their people to as an investment, not a cost, because a cost is like my cell phone bill or my coffee every day, right? I don't really get a return on that investment. But an investment means I can expect something back from it. right? And like when you think of an investment, a return on the investment of seed being planted, if you put in one seed, you're not just expecting one seed back, you're expecting multiple seeds back. When you invest in the stock market, you're expecting to put in 100 and make at least 1,000 back, right? Like we're all the time thinking in terms of investment and return, except for when it comes to my business. So, but why would your business be any different, right? The coffee doesn't give you a return. It gives you inches on your belly and you go back for more the next day. And I'm speaking for myself because I love coffee, right? But we've learned we made the investment to get a coffee maker at home. So our coffee cost us pennies a day instead of $5 a day. And that $5 we can put back into something for the family or the business, right? So thinking in terms of an investment is something that's going to give you an ROI. And an event like Handprint Legacy Live or like some of these other business trainings out there is that you are investing in you, which is always a good investment because you're going to build on the knowledge that you have. You're going to make more connections. You're going to walk away with so much more understanding of how to do, in this case, marketing from a biblical perspective, do it well in a way that honors God, doesn't feel icky or slimy, and still brings you the right people, right? How is that a bad investment, right? And so, yes, it costs something to come because we want you to be all in. If we gave away tickets for 3 days for free, people would not show up. And you have to show up to do the work and get to that funnel at the end of the weekend. Right? We're teaching, we're giving you time to work on your business. We're giving you time to share and get feedback from other people in the attendee group. And ultimately we want you to leave with that work done. And so it's not something where I just get to pick and choose which sessions to go to. It all builds upon each other. And you need to be there in order to get the full benefit of the weekend for you and for your business. And the way that we do that is by charging, because if it costs you something, then we know you're going to set aside the time and you're going to come and be there. And that's what we need. We need you to be present if we're going to change your life. And so, yes, we're asking for an investment there because we know the return it can bring once you're committed.
So what's the difference between Handprint Legacy Live and other events that are going on? Because it's COVID and everybody is home and we're doing everything, that way. What's the difference between Handprint Legacy Live and these other events that I could go?
So most other virtual events right now are, we all getting pretty good at Zoom calls, right? Some of us have even figured out how to do the virtual background. So you can't see the laundry on the chair behind me, but our event, we have worked really hard to recreate as closely as we can the event experience that you would have walking into a live event at some big hotel somewhere. And so everything from check-in the day before to the VIP welcome reception to the early morning fitness class before the event starts to, we really have tried to recreate everything as much as possible. We've got breakout rooms during certain times to talk with the other attendees. There's swag, there are speakers, everything that we could do, we have thought of. And if I haven't, it's coming because I've got an amazing team built up around to support this event. So it really is, and ours is different in that because I'm from Mexico, we pull big into that fiesta theme, right? And this year it's going to be a flamingo fiesta. And so we make it really fun with our decor and our swag and the other things that we're doing as well. And so it really is, it's nothing like a Zoom meeting at all.
Yeah, I think I saw a meme where it says the CEO of Zoom is zoomed out himself.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm tired of Zoom.
And we had people last year say, that was amazing. The time went so fast. I really didn't feel like I was on an 8-hour Zoom call kind of thing, and somebody else was like, this was more like a retreat than a conference, and we've played around with calling it a retreat, but I think virtual live event really fits it better.
Because it truly is, it is live and you've got questions for answer. You have a time and place for answering questions. And I like how there are people there helping, monitoring and watching and answering questions. But it's not just that, because I've already been through Handprint Legacy Live and I'm still going to go. And so those of us who are queens, we show up and we answer questions. And they, I remember one comment was about how asking if somebody was on staff, and we're like, no, we're just here to help. We're just, we're queens. We know what you're going to ask before you even ask, because we've already asked it ourselves. And it does become kind of a mentorship, new people coming in environment. And you meet so many cool people. You really do. You really, really do. And I can stay home and I can be in my pajamas and nobody knows. The biggest advice I will give you is to plan dinner ahead of time so your children don't starve while you're locked in your room. We're starving. It's like, no, you're not.
Yes. Yeah. And that's one thing that we tell folks, because we get started about 11 a.m. Eastern. We go by Eastern time so that it's not too early in the morning for Pacific Coast people or for European people who are attending, trying to get the best time zone for everyone. So our mealtime then is shifted a little bit, and for East Coast, it would be sort of a mid-afternoon. So if you've got people at home that depend on you for meals, we do advise that you try to make those up in advance, or make sure the kids know what's available, make a snack basket for them that they can go and get stuff out of without having to interrupt and ask mom, or, that kind of thing. But we do have, those meal breaks where you can take a break and go grab something to eat and check on the things you need to check on, or stand up and stretch and get some sunshine, or, whatever you need to do. But it is a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, and we stay live through lunch, so people can just sit and chat like you would at a conference, which is very helpful. And I think one time we even had recipe ideas that people could throw together easily to sit and wait for dinner. It really encompasses everything that you need to keep your family running so your hobbits don't starve. Yes, I call my children hobbits because of how much they eat. And it feeds you as a community. You start to develop a friendship and a community. And that only happens if you're willing to participate.
Right.
You have to show up willing to, hey, I'm going to meet new people who are like me. This isn't a, why should I talk to them? They probably won't like me kind of thing. You got to come and be willing to meet people. So are you ready for Handprint Legacy Live, or are you still coming up with your ideas?
Oh no, we've got our program is mapped out. Our fiesta boxes are coming together. Our team is pretty much all on board. We've got team meetings scheduled from here until the event. Our Bring a Friend competition for the attendees that already have tickets to be able to invite more friends and win prizes is going strong. So yeah, I would say we're about in fourth gear right now.
So you're not going to pull anything at the last minute on yourself?
Oh, you never know. Anything's possible. We are actually, our rental apartment in the backyard. We live in a historic home here in Mexico, and we're slowly restoring it to be a bed and breakfast and a retreat center at some point in the future. But one of our projects has been the first of 3 rental apartments in the backyard. We've been working on this for like 3 years now. So the tile is going in this week, and I'm hoping that this is going to be ready in time to be the stage for our event next month. And my husband's getting a little nervous. So you never know about that whole pulling something at the last minute thing. Anything can happen, but we like surprises, so it's okay.
Tab is always good for a project. He's always ready to try something new.
And he works good on deadlines, so there's hope.
If you haven't seen pictures of what Katie's talking about, you should check out her Instagram. Beautiful pictures of her house.
Yeah. Hacienda _ Casa Rosal. And we can put that in the show notes if you want.
House.
Yeah, it's the Hacienda. It's the Rose House, essentially.
The Rose House. Okay.
Yeah.
Duolingo and Spanish and I are working on things again. So we're coming to a point where we need to talk about, why should I devote 3 days and the money for the ticket? What am I going to walk away with?
You're going to walk away with your next marketing funnel all mapped out by the end of the 3 days. That is what we are there to do. Everything leads toward that goal and that result of you walking away confident that you know what and how to put stuff out to your people so that you can continue to grow and reach the people that God's calling you to serve. I'm pretty certain that everyone's going to get a little more clarity on what God has called you to and on who those people are exactly as we work through the different activities and teachings of the weekend. But then it's also the practical, right? Like a lot of people come away like, that was great, but how do I do this? And so we're going to give you the practical of putting it into practice. We're going to have a whole session devoted to your next steps from here. So it's not just now I know what to do. It's like, let's put it on the calendar. And so that you know from here on out what you're doing as you leave the event. It can be a life-changing experience because everything you learn at this event related to that one product or service that you're focusing on for the weekend can then be applied to any other product or service you decide to offer in the future. And the same systems that we teach you're going to be able to cultivate those processes then in those other products and services and continue to grow the way that you show up for your people and the way that you help them get to the transformation that only you can give them.
I'm looking forward to it. And I'm excited. And I have a friend that I'm sending to you for a ticket. And it's one of those things that until you experience it, you really don't know what you're missing. And it will be worth your time and your money and your energy. And to have a plan. The thing I hate most is when it's like you said, when somebody says, oh, just do this. I'm like, but how do I do that? And like, well, just figure it out. I did. It doesn't work that way for some of us. We have to have somebody to walk us through it. And you handhold, but not like squeezing tight, come with me type of thing. Well, that is all I have for you guys today. The Handprint Legacy Live event is June 22nd through the 24th.
Yes.
I remembered correctly. Yay. It's on my calendar, but it's not on my desk. So you need to get your tickets now because how many tickets do you have left?
Right now we have 93 tickets left. So we're like 40% full. And for your listeners, between now and June 11, we're willing to do an upgrade for one person who leaves a review for the Samantha's podcast between now and June 11th. You get your ticket, you leave a review for Samantha's podcast, and you'll get your name put into a drawing. And on June 11th, we will give an all access upgrade to one of you whose names are in that drawing.
It's not about the review. You need to get the all access pass. That's what you need to go after because it is definitely worth it. And I'm waiting for my swag box. Brenda, where's my swag box?
We don't mail them till after tickets close now. Be patient.
Okay, I love my swag box. It's a lot of fun. That's all I've got for you guys today. Be ready for the Handprint Legacy Live. It is coming, and if you're looking to start your business, this is where you need to go to get it moving in the right direction. That's it. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Hi, this is Lori Miller. I'm coming to you today with excitement for our first ad, and here we are on Samantha's podcast. So thrilled. So to tell you a little bit about ourselves, we're a tea boutique company, mother and daughter, Victoria and myself, Lori. We're a team My Loyal Tea Company. Might as well say that here. We have premium, organic, loose leaf tea. We want to get the toxins out of your bodies. We're very active on Instagram and Facebook at My Loyal Tea Company, LOYALTEA Company, all spelled out. And our website is myloyalteacompany.com. So come join the fun.